During that Adamic cycle, God has raised us up, made us into spiritual being, and then provided us with the Bayan, which is the book of the Bab for this cycle. But Muslims at large won't acknowledge it, even though the Quran is saying that I will give you that. The Quran is upheld, the Bayan is not.
In unfolding these mysteries, we have in our former tablets, which were addressed to a friend in the melodious language of Hijaz.
Melodious language of Hijaz.
Cited a few of the verses revealed unto the prophets of old. And now, responding to your request, we again shall cite in these pages those same verses uttered, this time in the wondrous accent of Iraq, that happily the sore athirst in the wilds of remoteness may attain unto the ocean
of the divine presence.
And they that languish in the waters of separation. Pardon me?
Wastes of separation.
I'm sorry. In the wastes of separation, be led unto the home of eternal reunion. Thus, the mists of error may be spilled, and the all resplendent light of divine guidance dawn forth above the horizon of human hearts. In God we put our trust, and to him we cry for help, that happily they may flow from this pen that which shall quicken the soul of men, that they may all arise from their beds of heedlessness and hearken unto the rustling of the leaves of paradise from the tree which the hand of divine power had by the permission of God
planted in the Rizwan of the all-glorious. Trumpet call twice in this paragraph, would you say? Declaration. Language of Hijaz, Arabic. He's talking about the Arabic hidden words, right? Because why do we know that? Because he says few of the verses revealed unto the prophets of old. Baha'u'llah himself said the hidden words are re-revealed, clothed in the new garment of the things that were revealed to the prophets of old. That's why we know that. Now in the accents of Iraq, he's talking about Persian-speaking Iraq, in the Najaf and Karbala area, and the borders of which Baha'u'llah resided. The book is in Persian. The ocean of divine presence. Divine presence is only present when the manifestation is here. So there's your declaration. Eternal reunion comes from following the word of God. This pen, what were we taught? How were we made into actual beings, believing beings, from mere animal side of our bodies? By the pen, the Quran said. He made man and then he taught him the Quran, made him into man. Man the way spiritual man is supposed to be. And then taught him the Bayan, right? It's in the same one verse of the surahs of the Quran. And here is the problem with interpretations and translations when they're done by non-authoritative pens. That same verse where he says that I created man, Adam, then I taught him Quran and made into insan. Insan is the actual, now the spiritual side of human being. And then I taught him Bayan. In the translation works, and then everybody followed over centuries, the Quran, which means I taught him reading, by the way. So we are talking about Adamic cycle. The pen was created finally and writing utensils in Adamic cycle, right? So in Adamic cycle, prior to that, whatever our shape and form intellectually was raised to this level of reading and writing first time was introduced to human history. And that's why I guess we don't have much other than the shape of archaeology, what had happened before, because what we have now in the old sense is whatever was written and left on, regardless if it was inscribed on the tablet of stone or whatever it was, but finally we learn how to read and write. During that Adamic cycle, God has raised us up, made us into spiritual being, and then provided us with the Bayan, which is the book of the Bab for this cycle. Makes pretty good sense, the verse, from after understanding the Quran. But the local interpretation and translation was that the Quran the word Quran was kept as Quran. So it became a name rather than the meaning. But the Bayan wasn't kept as a name. The Bayan was translated into its meaning, which is to elucidate, to make you understand, which is true. That's the meaning of the Bayan. But by what virtue you will have totally differently done, differently translated the same verse, two words of the same verse, one in this way and one in the other way. Seems benign, and because it does mean that, but in the longer run, you see the problem. The Bayan is the book of the Bab, but Muslims at large won't acknowledge it, even though the Quran is saying that I will give you that. The Quran is upheld, the Bayan is not, even though that same book is saying that I will give you both of these books, right? So logically speaking, if you're translating something, you would have then turned the Quran into, I taught him reading, I brought him reading and then made him into this human being, understanding human being, and then I taught him understanding of that word that I gave him. That makes perfect sense too. But one word is turned into a name, the other one into only meaning side of it and not the name side of it. And yet both of them have meaning, and both of them, these are names too. One is the book of Prophet Muhammad, the other was the book of Bab. So these things matter. We should stick with the authoritative interpreters. By the permission of God, planted in the Rizwan of the all glorious. Again, that God has permitted him to reveal this eternal reunion. Eternal reunion is the word of God that has come only by the manifestation. So you have 3 times in this paragraph, Baha'u'llah is sending out a trumpet blast to say who he is.